Well, congratulations for staying the course and continuing to plug into the webinar series on top of everything else. Guys, plugging in and stay power is really half the battle. This business and any business or anything really that you endeavor to be great at, it really does come down to whether or not you have that commitment and that stay power, because it's not always easy. It's not always convenient to give up 30 minutes on your Monday evening to show up for something like this, but you never know what you're going to hear, whether you've heard it before in the past and it just clicks for some reason this time, or it's a completely new tip or strategy that you can try and implement. You never know what it's going to do for your business. So congratulations for showing up. It's just a really good indicator of your commitment and your inevitable success. So tonight we are going to be talking about sales tools and the proper implementation of sales tools. So, we will go through the normal things that we go through, like results and reminders and things like that. But what we're going to be focusing on tonight are, how do you properly use things like email marketing or videos or images or the flash drives or YouTube or even social media to both generate interest in websites and also as an effective follow-up tool. Very often sales tools are used as a crutch. And we think that by passing out a ton of brochures or a ton of business cards that we're doing, something positive for our business. But, in reality, if that business card or that brochure or that sales aid is not accompanied with a handshake, a smile, or some sort of warm in, they're really not going to do much for you. And all that really does is waste our time and get our hopes up, and then we get disappointed when we don't see the results. So just like our social media training last week, a lot of what we talk about today is going to really be founded and grounded in the idea of one-to-one marketing. That's what our business is based off of. It's a tool that, it spreads across all of the university majors, as well as just business building in general. People are people. We need to treat them as such. And all of these things that we talk about are really just ways to enhance the process. They're ways to make evaluating our product easier. There are ways to to get somebody's interest peaked so that they'll ask for more information, or so that you have permission to have certain conversations with them. And that's really all it's about. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Quick reminders, webinars are being recorded, and so far we've been very lucky to have successful recordings each week. Those accompanied by PDF copies of the presentation are being made available at weBVolumecontest.com by clicking on webinars and support. Remember to report your results and continue to interact on Facebook. It's just crucial. Accountability is crucial, and when you are posting every day, or even if you're just reading through the comments and the questions that are being posted every day, it keeps you accountable. It keeps you, this business and the building of everything at the forefront of your brain, which is where you want it to be. So keep up the good work. So let's look at what last week's results were and what the total results are up to. I mean, these are just insane. I'm so excited about the results we're seeing. Last week we had 13 website sales at $18,591, generating $10,041 in retail profit. That brings our total website sales up to 106 in just 8 weeks, a sale price of $159,657, and a retail profit of over $100,000 paid out to distributors. That's incredible. Product sales last week were $9,453, bringing the total MA branded products up to $201,541 in product sales. Guys, incredible work. Keep it up. Keep following up. Don't leave anything on the table, especially as we're getting closer to the end of the the contest. As we gear up, you want to just step on the gas. You don't want to slow down and go, okay, we're coming in for a landing, and slow down. You want to do the opposite. It's just like running a marathon or running, a mile even. You spread yourself out and you pace yourself, and you have a nice healthy pace, and then at the very last lap you just pedal to the metal, you gun it, and you go for it. And that's exactly the kind of attitude that you should have in these final 3 weeks of our contest period, because guys, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but what it comes down to is we're entering week 9, so we have 3 full weeks of contest period left to really wrap it all up. And then we have a final webinar after that as well, because even though this is a contest, I want to leave you with some tips for continuing on as you build into international convention. More on results: 8 personally sponsored, 102 total personally sponsored distributors. That's incredible. 846 tickets moved to international, and 235 web center trainings have been attended by contest participants. This is really, really incredible. I mean, it's going to be, it's interesting. I actually can't wait to see what the results are going to actually, pan out to, and who our top 10 is going to be and how that's going to work, because the point system for this contest really makes it so that as long as you sold one website, this is really and truly anybody's game. I can't wait to see who's winning. And like I said, from the very, very beginning, this contest was designed to make everybody's business a winner regardless, by keeping you accountable and giving you tools and resources and a system to stay on track to build your business. So, sales tools. Sales tools are not a replacement for conversations, okay? They are not an automatic appointment, and this is not a set it and forget it crock pot kind of situation, okay? So, like I said earlier, a lot of us tend to use sales tools like brochures or this idea of mass marketing and this impersonal kind of approach, and we use it as a crutch. It's a place to hide behind where we can say, well, I dropped off a ton of brochures, or I left, a bunch of business cards on a bulletin board. And yeah, you may luck out doing those things. And I'm not discouraging you from doing that. I'm just simply saying that that is not the only way that you should be building your web center business or your unfranchised business, because it's just, the ball is not in your court. And if you're a business owner, you want that ball in your court. So you want to be in control of the situation. And so you want to use sales aids and sales tools in an appropriate manner so that it's enhancing the prospecting process, right? So that when you're talking to people, you have things to back you up, and you have visuals, and you have things that you can send them that make our product just a little bit more tangible, right? Because we're talking about an online marketing strategy. And yes, we're just selling appointments, and we always, always, always keep it that simple. But you know what? When we're asking questions, one of the things that is a result of question asking is we identify some specific needs. And if we have things that are going to support those specific needs, that are going to encourage somebody or really just motivate somebody to want to do an appointment, then we should absolutely use them. And that's exactly why we have sales tools. All right. And by the way, web center owners that are using the simple sales system, you guys can share information differently than people that are using a more of a ownership or a networking kind of an approach, but you can still share things, right? Just the other day, my friend was talking about going shopping for like summer clothes for their children. They have 4 kids, and they were going, thinking about, oh my gosh, where am I going to get the clothes? And I said, oh, you know what? I actually got some flyers and coupons in the mail from PS Aeropostale, and by the way, you can use those on my website. If you want, I'll get you the flyers and I'll teach you how to shop. So of course I'm combining things, but it wasn't weird for me to give my friend these Aeropostale flyers. It wasn't, because I shopped there and I happened to have a flyer and I shared it. So if you're using simple sales approach, you still can use some of these things. It's just third-party validation. And you want to think of this the same way that you would share like a product card for a product that, like a health and nutrition product, for example. If you shared an aloe product card with somebody, you're not claiming to be some sort of scientist or doctor or aloe expert. You're just simply saying you work with a great company and they have a great product that may or may not be able to help them with certain situations. And here's a piece of information that you can, evaluate, right? So you can still use sales aids even if you're using the simple sales approach. You just want to make sure that verbally you're positioning yourself in a way that makes sense and that is honest and that, doesn't complicate the situation. All right, so sales tools application. So if, like I said, it's not a replacement for conversations, but how do you then apply sales tools into your process? Well, number one way that you can do this is a conversation starter or as a first look. It's a way to share information for the first time with a prospect, or as you're asking questions and you identify some specific needs. So one of the tools that I'm going to share with you might pop into mind, and you can use that tool to, share information with them right from the beginning. Another way that you can apply these sales tools is as an excellent follow-up, process. If you have somebody that, did a website appointment and they weren't quite ready to make the decision and they had a couple of, questions left in mind, or maybe it was just so much information in one call that they just really wanted to take some time to think about it. I'm going to show you some tools that might make it easier for them to recap the information, appropriately, right? Just imagine, after seeing a website appointment for the first time, trying to remember everything that was went over. I mean, our solution is very big and there's a lot of opportunity and it's really meant to be grown into. And so if I'm not sure, if I want to go home and think about it, I want to make sure that my prospect has all of the right information in front of their face so that when they are thinking about their decision, they have the answers right there. They're not, trying to figure it out or trying to remember things or trying to just Google it or whatever. Like, I want them to have that information. So sales tools can, even though we think of them as ways to capture leads, they can also be ways to close leads as well. So let's take a look at some of the tools that are available. Now, number one is social media. We talked in depth about this last week on our webinar, so I'm not going to cover this in depth this week, but I want to remind you that social media is probably one of the number one ways that people share information and communicate these days. And so you want to make sure that you are using social media to enhance your prospecting process. You can share designs with potential prospects when they want to see design samples. You can share them, or you can use them just to generate interest in general, right? You can private message these, you can save them to your computer, and you can email them, you can do whatever you want, but just understand that MA Web Centers has a myriad of social media channels that you can totally be leveraging to as a first look. So, I just showed you a couple of examples of some recent designs from last week. A kids boutique, is your website in shape, and there's a fitness center. Check out the design by our design center for this awesome solar company. So, we're really varying the different kinds of designs that we do and the different industries that the designs are there. You can also go to masamples.com, and at that website you can just browse through a ton of different designs, and it's constantly being updated. So if you do have somebody that owns a restaurant or somebody that owns a landscaping company and they're looking for a couple of samples, you could show them that. Now, we don't share live websites with clients for really for your own protection for a number of reasons, but we do share designs to show the quality of work that our designers can do. But just understand this: when we share a live website, there's a number of reasons why we don't do that. Firstly, it protects the privacy of the client, and that is very, very important for us as a company and for you as a web center owner. You don't want people sharing your clients' live websites. We have hundreds of thousands of distributors and we have got tens of thousands of clients. And the last thing that we want are distributors or potential customers calling up our clients and asking questions and bothering them. We want them to have an enjoyable experience. And no matter how many ways you slice it, guys, if people tell you they're not going to call, they will. I've had it happen so many times, and it's really frustrating. Another reason is web center owners tend to put their link to their web center on all of the websites that they sell. I do that. Whenever I sell a website, at the bottom I say website solution provided by New Reality Web Solutions, and then I link that to my web center. And I do that as a way to just bring awareness that I'm the one that brought this web solution to this particular company, so that if they have other people they work with or anybody that's curious about who did their website, they know. So here's the thing: I actually had somebody share one of my live sites with one of their prospects, and the person clicked on that link and they were brought to my web center. They contacted me, and halfway through the process, I found out that they were working with, that some other person had tried to prospect them. And, I am a very ethical person, so I very quickly tried to turn this around. But you guys, that kind of confusion happens all the time. And the third reason we don't share live sites is because it's just not, it's not even industry standard for several reasons. Think of it like this: if I owned a kitchen company and I redesigned kitchens for homeowners, I would keep a portfolio of pictures of kitchens that were done, right? And I do that for several reasons. Number one is I want to show people the quality of work that I do, and I want to show it at its best. I want to show what I did. I don't let my homeowners walk into the homes of my previous customers and check out my previous customers' kitchens, right? Because for several reasons. First of all, wicked invasion of privacy. And second of all, because I don't know what those previous homeowners added on to the kitchen since the work that I've done. And it may or may not be a total representation of the work that I did anymore, right? Well, the design center works the same way. Our websites are totally managed by the business owners who, they have complete control over their site. And so, if I'm trying to show off and showcase and edify the design center, which is what you should be doing when you share these designs, is edifying the design center. We want to edify them in an appropriate way and show the actual design work that they've done. By the way, again, this is still one-to-one marketing. And when you share designs or you share specific posts from social media, you want to do it, logically. Meaning, if you know that somebody is, really into word of mouth marketing, or they're saying that, they care more about personal recommendations and that whole kind of thing, that's how they get their customers, this would be a good post to share. Right? According to Bright Local, 79% of consumers trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. Does your website solution allow consumers to leave a review? Right? You think about the conversation that you have and you match the different kinds of media, articles, videos, or even design samples to that particular person, and you share things that enhance the process for you. Social media, again, I'm not going to go too much in depth with this because we did so last week, but just keep in mind this is one-to-one marketing, and you want to make sure that the tools that you're choosing are relevant to the conversations that you're having. All right, another tool that you have available to you is the flash drive. So you can get this by logging onto your web center. And when you get into the back, you can actually order the flash drive. You can also get these at a really great deal when you attend the major conventions. So what's really cool about this is you can choose a language. Each flash drive is available in all of the different languages. They're the written languages, so it's Spanish, Chinese, and English. You can choose to play the entire video. It also comes with the PDFs for the social media marketing guide and the features and benefits guide. So if I'm leaving this flash drive with someone as a follow-up, I can say, here's the features and benefits. You can play the entire video, or you can choose specific chapters. Right? So it's broken down by chapters: customer care, getting started, how to add pages, changing text, adding images, easy website remodels when you want it, file manager, social media, email marketing, etc., etc., etc. Now, what's really cool about these broken up chapters is it makes it really, really easy to match somebody's specific interest to a particular chapter. So, for example, if somebody that I'm talking to is really interested in updating their website and has a particular interest in a social media strategy as well, then what I could do is drop this flash drive off to them, and I could say, and by the way, make sure you check out chapter 9 so you could see how our social media strategy fits in with our website solution. So maybe you can start there, and then you can also, fiddle around and watch the other chapters as well. It's a really, really great way to focus their energy right there and then. Guys, the way that I used this was like that old school sharing an audio or a tape with people, meaning if I drop off a flash drive to a prospect and I bring their attention to something specific, I'm very, very specific about the fact that I will be picking that flash drive up. I don't give them out. I just say, okay, so it sounds like you need a little bit more information before you're ready to commit to an appointment. Go ahead and check out chapter 9. Also, the entire overview's on there. There's a PDF of the features and benefits. Take a look, do some research on your own, get the information. I'm going to pick this up on Wednesday, and we'll talk then about getting you an appointment if you're still interested. Does that sound good? Okay, awesome. And that's exactly what I would do with this physical thing. And it's a really good reason to follow up. I don't have to ask, play phone tag, because this person has a piece of personal property of mine, and I need to pick it up. So I know that I'm going to get the follow up right off the bat. It's also a great follow-up tool. So if somebody had an appointment and they need to think it over, it's an easy way for them to navigate the chapters and review the specific important features that they learned about during their appointment, so that they can, again, they're getting the right information. Again, drop it off and pick it up. You don't want to just give it to people. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself a reason and permission to follow up by saying, I will pick this up on Wednesdays that work for you. And that also makes it time sensitive so that they have to review the information while they have it in hand, which I actually really like. Because again, if the follow up, the reason the follow up is great, but the time sensitive part is excellent, because now they're not just going, oh, I'll watch that video when they get to it. They're going, oh yeah, I got to give this back on Wednesday. I need to make sure I watch it by Wednesday. Now, this is really cool. In addition to having these chapters available on the flash drive, they are also available on YouTube. So we built a customer-centric YouTube channel, which is the username is MA Web Centers Official. And if you go to that page, what you'll find is all of these chapters individually uploaded as individual videos. So if you're prospecting somebody and they're really, really concerned with, e-commerce, you can literally find the e-commerce video on YouTube and share just that chapter about e-commerce, which I think is awesome. The only downfall to just using YouTube and not having the flash drive is, again, you don't have as much control over determining if they watched it, because there's nothing physical to drop off and pick up. There's nothing physical, but you can say, listen, I'm going to send you this video and I'm going to call you on Wednesday, let me know what you thought. You can do that, and I highly encourage you to do that with this kind of stuff, because when you're talking about sharing virtual information this way, same thing goes for social media, you just want to make sure that you leave these situations open-ended so you have an opportunity to follow up. Another thing that you can leave with your prospects are brochures, right? It's a great way to share information with people on your names list. You can drop off a bunch of flyers, but in general, most people are not going to read them unless you give them a reason to actually read it. So, if you're talking to somebody on the phone, or, you're having a quick conversation and someone says, oh, just send me something. In the theater world, we call that don't call us, we'll call you, which basically means we're not interested, but we're going to be polite and ask you to just go ahead and send us something in the mail, which is a ginormous waste of your time and your money and your efforts. So, again, brochures are best used when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're looking for something to enhance that conversation. So here's what you do to find them. You log into your web center, you scroll down to sales documents, and then you can scroll down to brochures right here. All right, and then to create a brochure, all you need to do is just fill in these fields right here. It's real simple, your company name and your title, whatever that is. You can put as much or as little information as you want here. It's totally up to you. And then you choose a design, and it's created. So this is an example of a site or a brochure that goes through a couple of the features, a little bit about the company, and then down here is where it would be customized to your business. But again, guys, you want to make sure that you're using these to enhance the conversation. So if people go, oh, that sounds really exciting, I'm going to schedule an appointment, and then you can say, by the way, here's a brochure with a couple of the things that they offer, just to get you a little of information before you get to the appointment. You also have professionally designed brochures, which you have a couple of them that are pre-designed, that are, as of right now, are not customizable, but you have a social media marketing guide, and you also have a features and benefits guide. So again, they're great ways to enhance the first look, and they're great follow-up tools. These are also located on the flash drive, which I love, and they're also located in your web center. So you can log into your web center and download these as well. Also, all brand new website clients are emailed these guides as well, just so that they have this as as a takeaway. Business cards are another way that you can exchange information. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I find that when I'm talking with people that own small businesses, I'm not really exchanging business cards as much as I used to. I'm more exchanging LinkedIn profiles. I say, are you in LinkedIn? Great. And then we find each other there. But with business cards, it's a great, again, the physical thing is really good. Here's a couple of rules. You don't give business cards to people that don't give them to you. I only give business cards to people that want to give me a business card as well. I don't hand them out to people unless I'm getting one as well, because again, this is a game. I want the ball in my court. And if I hand out business cards without receiving one in return, then I am giving them 100% control over what happens next. And I want to have some of that control. All right, business cards are generally only for people who specialize in web centers. Meaning, if you're using the simple sales approach, it would be very, very strange for you to have a business card for your web center business, because the simple sales approach is a referral approach where you say you don't specialize in this, but you work with a great company who. So it would be very odd for you to say, I don't specialize in this, but I have a business card. So if you're using simple sales, you don't do a business card. It's just that simple. It's not going to affect your business negatively. You just shouldn't use it because it just doesn't make logical sense. Again, you're going to exchange business cards, not hand them out. This is a great way to brand yourself. It's great for making professional contacts. It's also good for exchanging even when you set an appointment so that you know that they have your contact information in case anything comes up, and vice versa. It's a great way to share with folks who are well connected that would be willing to share with their contacts. Now, I do this with my professional contacts all the time. So while I'm using this when I'm prospecting, I also use this while I'm following up and with my existing contacts. So, and I encourage people to do this as well. So I have a huge portfolio of different contractors for website clients. And so I always say, I run referrals and I say, hey, with referrals, this is what we do, blah, 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 blah. Here's a couple of cards. By the way, I work with a lot of other contractors. Can I have a couple of your cards as well? Because, I know that so-and-so is always looking for landscaping, or so-and-so is always, really, really busy at this time of year. And I bet you they could really use you guys, and vice versa. And I'm always looking to make connections because I'm not just in this for how many sales I can make. I'm in this for how many connections I can make. The more connections I can make, the bigger of a network I can build, the more successful everybody is going to be. So your focus 100% needs to be how big of a network can you build and how can you do that? Business cards is one way to do that. So in my briefcase, like right now, I literally have like 20 of my own business cards, and I literally have like 50 Green Pro lawn solutions cards right now because I'm like trying to connect them with other contractors as well. You know what I mean? And I do that because, again, it builds value. I truly build relationships with my people, and I'm always looking to connect the dots. So business cards, if you're going to get them, you log in, you log down to sales aids, and then you go to business cards. Same situation where you're going to fill out the information that you want, and then you can have a business card created, and it's all branded, which is really, really nice. And the business cards also have designs that emulate the brochure design so that everything is collateral marketing materials for yourself. Now, another thing you can do is you can share the video. The video is available on the front end of your web center. It's also available on the mobile website. So if you go to m.mawebcenters.com, you can go ahead and click play. You can go ahead and share the video on the go, and you can also schedule appointments on the go. This is a great tool. So rather than extending the process where you're prospecting with people and going, you know what, I'm going to call you in a couple of days, or I'll call you tonight, we'll try to schedule that appointment. Why not whip out your smartphone, log in, and schedule the appointment right there on the spot? Another thing that you can do, another sales aid, and I highly recommend this, if you are majoring in web centers, you should definitely consider getting a domain name and an email account that's specified just for your web center business. It's great. It's an opportunity for you to send people to your web center where they can watch that video, they can read about features and benefits, they can request an appointment. And it's professional, right? You get a front-end facing website to market your web center business. So, why not have a domain name, a .com name to do that and make it better? Mine is newrealitywebsolutions.com. I have the same web center that every other web center owner has. The only difference is that I've attached domain name to mine. I also have an email account for my web center business so that I have, all of my website clients are emailing me to a dedicated email address, and that keeps it professional. It also keeps my brain sane because I have so many different things going on. It's just more professional. By the way, GoDaddy is a shop.com partner store, and GoDaddy is a great place to get domain names. It's not a great place to get website solutions, but it is a great place to get domain names. So if you're going to buy from an outside place, I highly recommend doing it through a partner store and earning IBV for that and cash back. You can also purchase a domain directly from yourself by just calling into MA Web Centers and asking them to walk you through it, so you can buy a domain name and associate it that way. It's real simple to set up. Once you get one, you just click on my account and then domains and email right here. And then you click either you register a new domain name, which is where you would buy one if you didn't have one, or you could use an existing one. And there it is, boom. And then from there, you can go ahead and click that domain, and you can add as many email accounts for your domain as you want. So I don't know if you guys are catching on, but as web center owners, we get a lot of the same, if not almost all of the same marketing tools and materials that our website clients have access to. And so you should totally be using them to market yourself. If not only will it help you to market and to prospect in a better and more effective way, but it's also going to make you more familiar with the different tools that we can offer our clients, which just makes talking about this more comfortable. And the more comfortable you can be in your conversations, the more believable that you're going to be in your conversations. And the more believable you are in your conversations, the more effective you're going to be and the more appointments you're going to set. So use your own product. Everybody says with web centers, oh, well, you can't be a product of the product. That's not true. You have access to so many of the features and benefits that your clients have that you absolutely should be using them so that you can be a product of your product. Email marketing campaigns, speaking of being a product of the product, you can go ahead and you can manage your prospects and clients, and you can create email templates and send out campaigns to your clients and your prospects just like your website clients have. So we can talk about where to get ideas for what you could email market, but I want to just show you how cool it is. So this is the new email marketing system that was just recently upgraded for free for all of our website clients, and it was also upgraded for free for yourself as well. So if you click on your web center and then on customer manager and then email templates, you can go ahead and choose a preloaded design, or you can do a custom design. The preloaded designs are just as easy as creating a brochure where you just give the template a name, you give it a subject, you figure out where you're going to send it. You can just edit it. It's so simple, and they're so dynamic that I highly recommend that you use these. Now, I use email marketing with my existing clients to continue to build rapport. You can also have a separate email list for all of your prospects, people that that haven't bought a website yet that you want to keep in touch with, so that you can send out information to them as well. So you can get ideas, from all kinds of places, but the key is to keep it on a regular basis. So whatever that regular basis is, you want to stick to it, whether it's weekly, daily, monthly, or whatever. But if you're just sending out random email campaigns, it could work. It's just that it works more effectively if you stick to a schedule. So I recommend starting off with a monthly email campaign. And if you can manage that and you want to go to a bi-weekly one and you want to send out more, go ahead and move to a bi-weekly one. And then if you want to move to a weekly one, you can do that as well. I think with our business, it's better to stick to a weekly or less. If you start getting into the daily or you start doing it too much, it can be, just kind of more annoying than helpful. So, you can market, you can send out emails about new upgrades that are coming out. We just released menus as a widget, and we're going to be releasing a plethora of new products and enhancements and free enhancements and all kinds of cool stuff. These are great things that you could be email marketing to your clients. It's a great way to build rapport. You can also just email about what's going on in the website climate in general. You can steal ideas from MA Web Center's Facebook or the blogs or the emails that we send out to you guys, and you can literally just copy and paste it and email blast your clients. It just positions you as a professional, and it's just free information for your clients. So, there's some recent things out there about how important it is to have videos on your website. So you could take that information, you can either reword it or whatever, and you can send it out to your clients, and then they go, oh yeah, and you can add something in there at the end, like, and by the way, it's so easy to add videos to your website. If you need help doing that, just call in a tech support and they can help you do that for free. You're building value into the features and benefits while you are giving out free content. It's totally a win-win. You can talk about specials that you're running. It's a great way to create urgency. So we talked about, leveraging sales and holidays and things like that in previous webinars. What better way than to communicate with your prospects than to go ahead and email them so that you know that they're getting it, right? You can let your clients and prospects know about referral campaigns, share design center work. Again, you can edify professionals, share the designs, share the testimonials that are on mawebcenters.com, and just basically use this as a way to stay engaged with your existing clients and your existing candidates as well. But here's the thing, guys, regardless of which tools you choose to use or which tools you choose not to use, it doesn't matter. All of the tools are 100% useless without you. You are the magic pixie dust here. So the tools are meant to give you an opportunity to get conversation started and to give you an effective way to follow up. They are meant to be an extension of you, right? So you still need to ask the questions. You still need to qualify your prospects and set qualified appointments. Just use the sales aids, use the different tools that are available to you to make this process a little bit better, a little bit more visible, and a little bit more tangible for your client. Because again, this is a very, very intangible product at times. We're talking about online virtual stuff. And by giving some takeaways at the beginning and throughout the process, you can make it a lot easier to evaluate our system. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Continue the great work. This has been such a great group of people, and I can't wait to see what we do in these final 3 weeks. Step on the gas, guys, the gas pedal. You know what I mean? That song? Okay. Keep it going. Remember to report your results. Next week, we will be talking about referrals and effective ways to run referral campaigns. What is the psychology behind referrals? Meaning, why do people give referrals at all? If we can understand why they give referrals, then we're going to talk about how by understanding why we can encourage them to do so. How can you effectively ask for referrals? How can you run referral campaigns? The whole concept of giving and getting, and how this can really, really be an effective way to grow your website portfolio. I just sold a website today to somebody that was referred to me by a catering company, and that I had sold a website to in my first year as a web center owner. So this was probably my third or fourth website that I had ever sold, and she's just such a sweetheart. She owns a catering company, and then they went ahead like 2 years ago and redesigned the website with the design center, upgraded to 4.0 and all that great stuff. And she can't get enough. And this is a woman that when she started her business, it was out of her house. And in her first year, she made less than $20,000 profit. And she got a website. And in her second year, she cleared 6 figures. And now she's cleared 6 figures many times over. Her business is growing, and she completely can't stop talking to people about the website because this is really the one thing that she did to market herself. She didn't have a lot of money to allocate to advertising, so she said, where am I going to spend my money so I can get my name out there? And the most effective way to market your business now is online. And she was smart enough to realize that, and that's why she invested the money that she had in an online marketing strategy rather than just yellow pages or radio or newspapers or all these like little chintzy things that she could have done. And so again, she referred me to somebody else, and I followed up. We scheduled an appointment. She bought the website today. Referrals are such a fun way to build this business because it's warm and fuzzy. Everybody's happy because they're reaching out to you. It's great. So I can't wait to talk about this. We're probably going to have a guest speaker next week as well with Jeremy, possibly with Jeremy Fenema. If not next week, then the week after. He's also very, very effective with the referrals. So, we'll talk about that, and I will keep you updated on our Facebook page. All right, guys, thank you guys so, so much for joining, and have a great week.